Hello, and welcome to the Hartford Public Library's new art tour. My name is Nancy Savin, and I'm about to take you on a special tour of the Hartford Public Library's great collection of art. The library is a place like no other. It excels at serving the people of Hartford with its vast collection of books, magazines, newspapers, music and audiobook CDs, DVDs, as well as a wide range of public programs. And also, the library deeply believes in displaying its art collection for its visitors to enjoy. Let's begin outside the library's front entrance and courtyard on Main Street with large vertical Motif, an impressive 17-foot-high, 2.5-ton black corrugated steel sculpture by David Hayes. Hayes was born in Hartford and loved to cut abstract shapes from Corten steel and then weld them together. Large vertical Motif is a bold affirmation of life, growth, and learning. It's a perfect start to the library's collection. Anchoring the northeast corner of the entrance to the library is a bronze statue of famed American author Mark Twain, standing at the wheel of a Mississippi riverboat. Twain lived on Farmington Avenue in Hartford for 17 years, writing some of his most famous books, such as Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and Life on the Mississippi. Mark Twain loved Hartford and found it more beautiful than any other city in America. At the base of the front steps, look down. Here is the Walk of Fame, Stars of Hartford History. This is the library's answer to Hollywood, only our stars are Hartford literary, civic, and business leaders, such as educator and activist Gwendolyn Reed, poet Lydia Sigourney, renowned author Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin, advocate and legislator Maria Sanchez, businesswoman Beatrice Auerbach, Dr. James W.C. Pennington, author of the first written history of African Americans, and inventor Samuel Colt. Take just a minute to read the snapshot biographies of these 10 prominent Hartford residents. On the southern wall of the library's facade, you'll see the 13.5-foot-high Vermont marble classical goddess whom sculptor Orazio Maldarelli called Sybil of the written word. In ancient Greece, a Sybil was a prophet or a goddess. Holding a long scroll in her right hand, this Sybil stands on a puffy cloud of inspiration and knowledge. I think Maldarelli wanted her to say, "Here is the Hartford Public Library, a place where the written word has recorded the human experience." Now let's go inside and enter the cafe. On the left is Hartford-born sculptor Elbert Weinberg's huge 8-foot-high plaster cast called Demeter in Her Garden. Demeter was the Greek goddess of agriculture, and although this cast never became a bronze statue, she is the perfect goddess to oversee the healthy farm-to-table food offered by the kitchen at the Hartford Public Library. Across from Demeter is Weinberg's Metal Bride. Among the wide array of subjects Weinberg loved, brides were one of his favorite. He called his perforated steel and copperplate bride, complete with cascading veil, train, and a bouquet of wedding flowers, La Sposa Metallica. Weinberg worked and studied in Rome for 25 years, but the Metal Bride was created in his studio right here in Hartford. Howard Fromson is a Hartford inventor, business executive, philanthropist, and artist who invented the silicated anodized aluminum printing plate and revolutionized the American printing industry. He works with stainless steel sheet and is especially intrigued with the tetrahedron, a shape of 4 equal triangles. In this piece, called Skin and Bones, Fromson has created 2 elongated towers of tetrahedrons, one with rods or bones, the other sheathed as skin. If you gently push on either one, it will oscillate delightfully for several minutes. It's kinetic sculpture in Connecticut. Outside the cafe, as you enter the main library, you'll see the affecting bronze head and delicate hands of sculptor Elbert Weinberg's 3-year-old daughter, Julia. In his work, Weinberg said, "The material, the form, and the expressive intention of the artist should all combine to create something magical." And here it certainly does. Walking further along the glass wall of the cafe, you will find Warrior, a spare, abstract marble and steel figure created by Elbert Weinberg. It also has a much longer name, Picasso Athena, the bright-eyed goddess, which Weinberg took from 2 ancient Greek books, the Iliad and the Odyssey. You can borrow and read these stories with your library card. On the walls of the south and north reading rooms on the main floor of the library, there are 18 wonderful photographs by Hartford photographer Jack McConnell. They are captivating enlargements of his photos of some of Hartford's most impressive and important historic landscapes, institutions, and buildings. While you're in the south reading room, look up and you'll see a photograph of Howard Fromson's functional stainless steel chair sculpture called tête-à-tête, which is French for head to head. It is actually 2 chairs attached to one another. On Hartford's riverfront plaza, he combined 4 chairs into a sculptural quartet which you can actually sit on. In the north reading room, above the periodical section, you'll see Olympics, a bold acrylic collage by Romare Bearden, one of America's foremost African-American artists. Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright August Wilson called this collage, and Bearden's Untitled, which hangs in the main atrium, great depictions of the character of Black American life and its conscience. Both Olympics and Untitled were originally commissioned in 1980 by the city of Hartford for the Civic Center, but in 2014 they were moved very carefully to the Hartford Public Library for everyone to see. Now let's walk to the Library Center for Contemporary Culture and the American Place. Turn left and walk to the back wall where muralist Rudolph Zallinger has painted his panoramic early history of Hartford. Zallinger is world famous for his Pulitzer Prize-winning mural, The Age of Reptiles, at the Yale Peabody Museum in New Haven. As you enter the library's beautiful and spacious atrium with its central stairwell, stop and enjoy Romare Bearden's other acrylic collage on canvas. Its bright, exuberant colors depict a dancer, a trumpet, a piano, and obviously celebrates jazz. But Bearden just called it Untitled. Why do artists do that? On the second floor, you should look far to the right to see the work Howard Fromson calls Who, What, When, Where, Why, and How. And isn't the library the perfect place to get these answers? This sculpture is a stainless steel chain of tetrahedrons in the shape of a huge question mark. It will oscillate if you touch it, but gently. When you arrive at the top of the atrium stairs on the third floor, you'll find Mark Twain's Fishtail by LaBossiere. When LaBossiere accepted a commission from the library CEO Matt Poland to paint over an unsightly set of closets, he saw instantly that the space resembled the dimensions of a fish tank. His swimmingly blue and turquoise water fancy is complete with bubbles and marine vegetation. Do you see the angelfish whose eye is a key lock? LaBossiere whimsically decided to put Mark Twain in the fish tank as well, just to keep an eye on all library visitors, especially the students, to remind them of the great importance of literature and reading. Further back down the corridor is Hartford artist Chet Kempczynski's Full Moon over Hartford, a richly colored monotype that depicts the mood of downtown Hartford on a cloudy night. Kempczynski, a professor emeritus at the Hartford Art School, combined the thick swirls of a nighttime sky with the luminous colors and shapes of the city's historic 18th and 19th century buildings. Just outside the Hartford History Center, you will see another of Elbert Weinberg's exuberant brides. This dancing bride was carved from cherry wood. In whatever medium Weinberg chose, whether metal, wood, or anything else, the result was always thoughtful and engaging. Inside the History Center on the far wall is a small terracotta head of the angel Rafael, one of two full-sized angels that once stood as finials atop the turrets of the Soldiers and Sailors Civil War Memorial Arch in Bushnell Park. Carved by Viennese sculptor Caspar Buberl, the angels symbolically face south to greet returning veterans of the war. Gabriel's trumpets offered consolation and mercy, while Raphael bestowed healing. In 1974, after a lightning storm damaged them, the cracked statues were stored away in a wooden shed that later caught fire. But Raphael's head survived, and the History Center at the library is proud to share this cherished piece of Hartford history. Oh, and you will be happy to know that the angel statues were recast and today stand triumphant again atop the memorial arch. Opposite the History Center, the Wallace Stevens room pays tribute to Hartford's most famous modern poet. You'll find photographs by Jack McConnell and a small dark bronze of Stevens' head, sculpted by contemporary artist Frederick Blott. Well, this is the end of our tour. Before you leave, be sure to walk over to ArtWalk, the library's wonderful art exhibition space at the front of the building. Overlooking Main Street and looking west to Bushnell Park in the state capitol, this exciting glass-clad space is one of Hartford's premier galleries for public art. We hope you enjoyed this art tour and that you will come again to visit the Hartford Public Library, a place like no other.